And this is where Jesha just manifests in the middle of the, or Firefly manifests in the middle of the map.
You just won the PvP fight. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be Jim. It's gonna be Jaime. He's gonna come out of left field with the steel chair. He's gonna knock ByuN off the chair. He's gonna take control of the keyboard. He's gonna switch race mid game somehow. He's gonna regame and he's gonna win it all.
Yeah. You thought I was defeated in the first match. But I survived. I lived, bitch. Anyway, we're gonna have one map here to determine who faces Classic in that semifinals. Over here, deciding it all on Oceanborn, where over here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left, we have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing his team Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Italian Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor.
Now, Reynor obviously is somebody who my eyes are going to be kept on quite a bit, or in general have been. My eyes have been on Reynor when it comes to the ESL Open Cups at the very least in the past couple of weeks, because one, we know he's not going to be in Korea forever, so at this point we have to start cherishing him while we can. But also, yeah, it's been kind of unfortunate with how the seeding works. A lot of the times in these past couple of ESL Open Cups, Reynor has faced pretty tough opponents early on and hasn't really been able to make a deep run yet.
Yeah, like Reynor's been here in Korea for like 2 months, or maybe just over 2 months at this point, and he's been very active. He's been improving a lot, and it's been really cool to have Reynor here. But as you mentioned, I think a lot of people expected a lot from him. I mean, he's still an amazing player. He's still one of the best players in the world, but it also shows how difficult ESL Asia can be, because we see him go down to players like your Classic, your Hero, your Dark, Solar, Nightmare, and despite Reynor being quite frequent in these events as of late, I believe he has yet to have taken a win here, a championship in the ESL Open Cup circuit. But it would be really cool to see him do it here, because I think this might be his last week in Korea, so this might be his last chance.
Potentially, yeah, as Home Star Cup is coming up, and we're not privy to the plans of Reynor, but yeah, it does seem like that's probably going to be the marker of when the checkpoint of when he does return to Italy.
Yeah, exactly, as we have a very interesting opener. Okay, so Reynor went 15-15. He went for a 15-15 opener. What does this mean? Faster queens. The queens are a little bit faster. This is ideal to defend against 2-axe Reapers, so Reynor shouldn't lose too much against these Reapers, but he's contained to 2 bases. The third base is denied, and ByuN threw down a very fast third Rax. Not for 3-axe Reaper, but to rush into a very strong stim timing.
Indeed. That's a lot of Marines this early on in the game. He's actually going double Tech Lab, which is interesting, but I'm guessing that's just for combat shields.
I would assume so. I would assume this is just going to be a really strong upgrade timing for ByuN. Again, the third Rax timing really caught me off guard. It's just really early here for ByuN, so I'm a little bit concerned if Reynor is a little bit too greedy here. The Marines move out to shut down the Overlord, but this Marine kind is still looking it's not too much of a tell. It's not too much of a tell yet here, and Reynor may opt to just still drone.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on that production tab. Obviously, with that Overlord going down, Reynor's going to be supply blocked for a little while, so not quite going to be able to get much. Oh no, the second Overlord! And supply blocked again.
And what do we go for? Do we try to deny the third base, or do we go for another Overlord? Looks like we back off for the time being. Another Overlord will get on top of the pillar just in time. ByuN moves back, but ByuN, remember, he is building up back at home for an extra wave for stim and combat shields.
ByuN arguably revealing his hand a little early, but is still able to get a lot of damage dealt. I mean, at this point, Reynor wanted to use this larva for more lings, and once he gets enough lings to drone as well, and actually he's prioritizing droning right now.
Yeah,
Is,
like he's been
a little
droning this
worrisome.
exactly. He's been droning this entire time. We have +1 carapace on the way, which is good against a regular 2-1-1. But this is a 3 racks timing. This is much earlier. 14 lings now on the way. Ling speed will finish up just in time. But can we save the third base? This is a lot of DPS, a lot of firepower. ByuN has to be very careful with how and when he does stim.
He does. He needs to utilize the choke points as best he can as well. Sims forward immediately to try to get some queens. Lings not quite getting us around. Queens running out of energy very rapidly.
And we've done it. We've broken through the queens. We've broken through
no.
all the lings. And ByuN catching Reynor with his pants down, Poppy. Game 1 and Game 2 are long games from my understanding, but there's something about us casting these games because it's going to be a little bit shorter. I mean, lings are coming in just in time. Can we somehow survive? We're running out of Marines.
We're running out of Marines, and the Marines that we do have are very badly overstimmed. It's such a good choke point to utilize, though.
Yeah, very good choke point. We clean up every single Marine. That was almost disastrous. I mean, it was still brutal. We lost how much? Look at the units lost tab. That was 50 lings and 7 queens. 2 overlords. That was a kill on the Eva chamber. That was some good value here for that sim timing.
That's a Reynor. ByuN killed more queens than I think you make in an average game.
It's true. It's true. 7 queens, Poppy.
That was brutal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, with that, ByuN has done quite nicely, and now he's moving out with a secondary push. By the way, Reynor's been droning heavily to make up for his earlier losses. No. But, okay, ByuN is not pulling the trigger.
Okay,
Thankfully, ByuN, he moves out. He's chilling. He's just chilling here at the choke point. He's not pushing out. Otherwise, I do think he could have broken through these lings and got into another mineral line.
Yeah, I don't think ByuN has realized that Reynor did go back into droning, so he's playing things safe, which is the smart thing to do, but I do agree with you. I do think that was an opportunity for ByuN here. If he simmed on forward, he would have been able to take out all those lings. The queens have not yet been remade just yet, so yeah, that was definitely an opening there, but ByuN, without the confirmation, decides not to take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah, we don't want to make, like, it's no understatement here that the queen count was completely reset, and we just now made 3 queens. Like, 1 for each base. We have no active creeping queens. The tumors are doing what they can. 4th base now on the way. Reynor goes for a safety Roach Warren, so he's going to be playing Roach Ravager Ling in the mid game, which can be a very defensive style here for Reynor, but it means that ByuN has a lot more opportunities to be active when the meta exit the field.
It's not a very supply efficient unit composition from Reynor, but it is a very cost efficient composition, and yeah, very cost efficient for this early on, where you don't quite have the Baneling Nest just yet. It's just a really good way of preventing your Terran opponent from getting too deep into your side of the map. You're not going to be able to push with it anytime soon, but it's all about defense right now for Reynor.
Yeah, the biggest thing...
It's all about staying alive.
The biggest thing when it comes to Roach Ravager in this position is it's very larva efficient, because you don't have a 4th, and you lost all your queens, which means you're lacking injects as well. You've been missing injects for quite some time, so your larva is quite lacking, so you need to be careful with that. And again, these roaches will help with that. We don't have to invest too heavily into Ling Bane, making drones as we speak, but the double drop is more mobile, and ByuN is going to be able to sneak past these roaches and try to get on top of the hatchery.
Sneaky. Not all of these Marines are out, by the way. ByuN actually simming on forward to take out a couple of, I think, 1 Ravager, which not sure if that was entirely worth it, but hey, it's something.
Oh yeah. Does a pull back, does get the Ravager, got the hatchery low, which can come into play. Remember, we have a low queen count, so no transfuses are available, so we could try to push into this with our tank count. And there it is at the almost 9-minute mark, but the timings are a little bit off because of the opener. We're moving out with 3 tanks and a massive amount of bio.
And really, that's all the tanks you need at this stage of the game, while your Zerg opponent is still on lair tech, or while they are still trying to get their economy up and running, their 4 bases up and running, and they don't really have many units beyond Roaches and Ravagers.
Yeah, as the tanks are sieging up, the Ravagers are unable to bow them down. They're slowly pushing forward, and this base is under fire.
Yeah, it looks like it will be going down.
Yeah, the base does fall. No Banelings whatsoever. Barely any Ravagers. We get on top of the workers. 7 drones fall. We still have the double drop as well to help support. And ByuN, he can keep pushing. There's nothing to stop him.
Nothing at all. At this point, he might not even need the tanks. There's enough Marines to stim on forward. Oh, not if you take so many vials.
Yeah, it does take a bot to the face, but I think he can afford it. Like, the tanks, they are able to get within range of the Roach Horn. Roach Horn goes down. We have the double jump coming in from behind, getting into the natural base as well, and we're getting so much damage.
They're getting a lot of damage. We have one Infestor over here, which I guess Fungals would be a way to lock down this army and pile them down.
I mean, hey, we land a Fungal, but GG gets called. It's not going to be enough, and ByuN will take the series.
2-1. GG, these players, I mean, I guess they don't like us watching them.
GG, well played. Yeah, really fast games. Really fast games, but really...
Compared to the last 2 games in this series that we didn't cast.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as we join, you know, ByuN, he got the memo. You know, he's ready to go, ready to send it back. Yes, he does snowball out of control, just a really aggressive style. But I should also emphasize as well that this was an unorthodox style out of ByuN. Remember, it was 2-Rax Reaper with a really fast 3rd-Rax, but it wasn't 3-Rax Reaper. That's the thing. It was a slightly later 3rd-Rax after the CC. There was a slight variation to the build, and it was designed to hit that stim timing, and ByuN did a really good job of just hiding the additional Marines to make it look like a regular opener and catch Reynor without any pants back. They weren't there.
No pants.
No pants. They weren't even just down. They just didn't exist. They weren't there.
It's a Daffy Duck situation, or no, Donald Duck situation.
I mean, neither one wears pants. You know, it's either one works. It's okay. But GG, well played. Congratulations to ByuN as he does take the series, and we are getting ready for our first semifinals of the night. It's going to be a PvT between Classic and ByuN, and the question becomes, can ByuN stop the mirror match finals?
That's what we're about to find out. It's going to be tough. Classic, from what we've been able to glean in his series versus Reynor, he looks absolutely in form. He looks absolutely like that PvT monster that he historically has been. So going to be pretty tough here. If there was ever any Terran player who I think would be able to break through the wall of Protoss that is Classic, I'm not sure why I described it that way, but yeah, to take out the Titan that is Classic, to really disrupt his play and really get in his face, it would be ByuN. But we'll see, man. We'll see if Classic gives him any opening to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see if Classic does give him the breathing room that he would want. Again, ByuN is a very active player in TVP. He's very aggressive. But again, I'm sure Classic is aware of that as well. So I want to give the edge to Classic coming into this, but I hope that ByuN does well. I want to see ByuN in the finals. I want to see the breakup of the PvPs, but you know, there's only so much that we can do. You know, PvPs are foretold in ESL Open Cups, so we'll see if we can pull that off. We'll see if we can break the chain.
You know, in some ways, you and I are very different people. Like, because I'm rooting for the PvP all the way. Let's go.
Nah, I love me some Korean PvP. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even Korean PvP. It's I love Hero versus Classic. All right, like Hero versus Classic is a very, very special kind of PvP. That's just, it's a thing of beauty.
It's something that you look at it and you look at the historical play styles of both players. You would think, okay, Classic's going to be the standard player, Hero's going to be the more unorthodox player. But especially in the past couple of months, and I want to say ever since 2023, even since or even 2022, when they both came out of the military at about the same time. If they go up against each other, it's a little bit, I don't want to say random, but it's a little bit more fluid how the dynamic between them works out. Classic definitely seems much more willing to come out in proxy or do something unstandard against Hero, more so than any other Protoss player. And Hero, obviously, more than happy to obligate that.
100%. You know, when I think knife fight in a phone booth, I know a lot of people correlate that with ZvZ. Nah, I think of Classic and Hero. I think I think these two guys, they step in, they take out the knives, they go to town, Papi, and it's a thing of beauty. We do enjoy it whenever we can, catching Classic and Hero face off against each other, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. You know, that's the potential finals. We'll see if ByuN can shake that up and can deny that from happening,
Yeah,
as beat us it up.
which, yeah,